Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I am finally going to be checking out the rest of the Better Lovers EP, God Made Me an Animal. I did a video for 30 Under 13. I've really been enjoying that track. I bought a ticket to a headlining show in my city, well, close to my city, that I'll be going to later this year. So based off the one song I heard, I have very high hopes. Obviously, I wouldn't have bought a ticket otherwise. So 3 more new tracks that we'll be checking out. I'll keep a little bit of 30 Under 13 in here, just like I do for my full release videos, so you get the feel of the album. But if you want to see my full thoughts and my actual first reaction to it, I have that on the channel. I will link all of the band's social media, promotional links, any sort of merch you can get, tickets for their upcoming show. All of that will be in the description of this video. I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it.
While others change, you stay the same. Your mission, only let you see yourself. No purpose. That affects so close, but never getting any closer. Good love, but you don't wanna do it. You don't wanna do it. You don't wanna do it at all. It's grown up, and maybe you should figure it out. 'Cause everyone else said that you're taking too long. Can't catch up to where you're meant.
Oh, beautiful lead.
Trapped and isolated by yourself. Always so concerned with someone else. Trapped and isolated. Trapped and isolated. Trapped and isolated. Trapped and isolated. You got manipulated.
Ooh, with the toms.
I'm not the one you hated. You're just looking to attack.
Oh, that let off. Okay.
I'm so concerned with someone else. Trapped and isolated by yourself. I'm so concerned with someone else. So concerned with someone else. You should be more worried for yourself.
Yeah. Ripper of the track. Had me only hearing this, buying ticket for the show. Love the repetition in that verse. Got a little like squeak, and then it echoes. I can finally watch their live videos after this now. I just know it's gonna be crazy. Greg has quite the stage presence. Oh. God. Oh. Oh. Ooh, the timing's interesting there. Oh. Chaos. Oh, the slow down. Okay. Oh. No. We're already on the title track. Yep, I'm glad about that ticket. Nope. Thought we were already gonna get a slowdown for a second there. Some big riffs on this whole EP. That bass sounds good back there. Yes. I was like, I'll accept this, but Better Lovers, God Made Me an Animal. Let's discuss. When I first heard about this project and learned about the members that are involved in this group, I was expecting something chaotic. I don't want to make it sound like I saw the lineup and was like, oh, I know exactly what this is going to sound like, because that's not the case. But the level of intensity and the really chaotic parts of this EP, which it's very heavy on, those are really what I was looking for coming into this project, and I was not disappointed. I think a lot of the moments where it like slows down, or the bassier parts, those add a great contrast to the wild, chaotic moments. And I think having Will Putney and Jordan Buckley working on this, it brings a really interesting mix together, and the actual mix as well. It sounds perfect for this style, and I'm not sure to what degree, you know, who does exactly what on the production end of things, but I think having this many brains together who are so well known and established in the scene, this is hype that they were able to deliver on with this EP. It's 15 minutes of just chaos with those moments of breathing in between or grooving a little bit differently. Some of the timing is just so interesting. The more melodic moments kind of lead you to that explosion back into the chaos. The riffing on this is incredible. There are a lot of really fun riffs. I need to re-listen. I think it was off of the title track where that's just stuck in my head immediately after listening to this. With the combination of people involved in this, I'm pretty sure I talked about this a little bit when I did my 30 under 13 video, but having Greg involved in the project with the Dillinger Escape Plan, my favorite album from them was One of Us Is the Killer, and a huge chunk of why it stuck out to me was related to Greg. So coming into this and seeing that, it 100% lived up to the expectations I had. It's obviously a much different feel, I think, than this combination. It's not quite it's 100% a super group, actually. And so it's multiple influences and musical brains coming together. And the outcome, I think, is exactly what I'm looking for in this style. I would have a hard time picking a favorite track off of this. The title track is a huge one for me. I still love 30 under 13, but I think actually it's safe to say for me that each track kind of competes for that, and I'll need to listen to it a bunch more times. 30 under 13 I've listened to a bunch of times, and that was the only song that I knew off of this before, so I feel like it's a little bit, that's why I hesitated, it's like a little bit difficult for me to make that call quite yet. But I don't think that any track lacks the quality that one brings, and they each have sort of their own feel while tying together extremely well. I think I saw somewhere that they've been playing a new song on tour too, doing a headlining show. I am curious how that will go down, but I just bought my ticket and figured I will find out when I go. So that's a show I'm even more excited for now. I was fairly confident in buying it that this, not this like this sound, but like the quality that's present in this would be the outcome, so I just bought the ticket and now I'm not regretting anything. I think some of like the progressions in here, there's a ton of really fun riffing. I'm pretty sure it's the title track that's sitting with me the most, but it's also the most recent thing that I've listened to, obviously, as it's the end of the EP. But that I think it's the last riff at least, but it's definitely the most prominent in my mind right now. That like that to me, mixed with some of the singing style. Greg has a very distinct voice, one that's very identifiable, and I think the use here comes in at multiple angles. We obviously have those huge chaotic moments, some of the repetition too, when we're talking about the lyricism and how it comes across. When you use repetition, typically you're like driving something further and further, and I think the way his voice kind of progresses to a more emotional scream in some of those parts is a huge standout piece of this for me as well. Really want to kind of pinpoint a favorite track. I think they opened it up perfectly. Sacrificial Participant was a track that did not waste any time hopping into the sound to expect from the rest of it. Become So Small really was heavy on the repetition that I'm talking about, but the variation in delivery makes it so it's not. Sometimes I hear some repetition, and you may have seen this on the channel if you watch a good amount of my content, but I'll hear repetition where there's not much variation and it's just the same thing over and over again. Or there's like, you know, you have 3 choruses set in a song that are delivered the same way with no variation, and then the verses are very dull, or at least like my interpretation, and this is like the complete opposite of that approach on repetition. I think this is like the perfect example of really well used repetition in that sense. Such an intense 15 minutes, it's hard to like pick it apart. It's super chaotic. That is what I was looking for here, so another reason I think these shows are going to be wild, along with just the stage presence that Greg is known for. There is, at the same time as it brings that like intensity, that sort of chaos where you're like, what is going on? What was that? There's like some transitions where as soon as it transitions, you're like, whoa. I think it was maybe in the opening track, or possibly Become So Small, where there's like a very abrupt switch, and it doesn't sound bad by any means, but it just sort of like makes you physically feel the transition at that point. and for a brief amount of time it feels like you're in a different song, and the way it progresses back into the sound it previously had laid down makes it all fit together perfectly. Stuff like that to me is so smart feeling, like I just can't understand. A lot of the progression in this, some of the really fun riffs, those are going to be things that stick out to me and make this a re-listenable EP, over even with 4 songs, being a new band. Obviously not new people to the scene or anything, but being a new band with a small discography, these 4 will definitely scratch the itch for me for right now. I won't get bored of it, I don't think, because it provides at the same time as like it's that chaos, it's organized chaos. Some of the like wild riffs, some of the really groovy stuff, there's just a lot more to this than there even needed to be for it to go on the playlist for me. It's definitely exceeded my expectations in that sense. Some of the riffs are just such like driving ones. Having that one stuck in my head after one listen, just like one specific one, is a little bit surprising to me because there was so much on my first listen that stuck out to me. But I think as I continue listening to it, I can see multiple parts of this getting stuck in my head. So at the same time as it's chaotic, it's intentionally all over the place at times, it also has a catchiness to it, which I always find impressive as well. I think with this style, this is the best possible outcome for me. There is a, like I mentioned, it's 15 minutes, but the amount of ground that they were able to cover in those 15 minutes is definitely impressive. There is no track that lacks in the quality, so this will all be going on to the playlist for me. There's nothing I would want to see differently, especially with them being a new band, this being their first release. This is an ideal debut release for me, and I'm excited to see where they will go. I'm going to keep this on the playlist, and I imagine I'll be talking about this at the end of the year with my favorite EP list. We've had some great ones, but this is going to be a contender, so hopefully at that point I'll have a better idea of where I would rank the tracks and just some more thoughts after more time with it. So let me know what you thought in the comments. If you have worked out your favorite track from the EP, please let me know. I will put all of their social media support links, like I mentioned in the beginning, any sort of ticket links, all of that will be in the description of this video. After listening to this, I would definitely suggest checking if they're coming to your area. They're doing some headlining shows, which, like I mentioned before, I have no idea how that will go with 4 songs being out. So I'm curious to see. I will be there regardless. Let me know if you're going to go to a show too, or if you've seen them. That's even better. No offense, but that's even better. If you've seen them live, let me know how the show was. Other than that, my link tree will also be in the description. That will have my Patreon, my Twitch channel, the Discord server invite link. I am now streaming exclusively on Twitch at this point in time, not on YouTube anymore. So my request streams on Tuesdays, those take place on Twitch. I'm also adding in some extra streams that are not request styled, but of course still music related. So if you want to see when I go live, see what kind of streams I'm doing, feel free to follow the link tree to my Twitch channel. Other than that, that pretty much covers it. I talk about the Patreon. The Patreon lists everything that's offered. A big update is coming. Discord server is where all the homies are at. That is the community for my YouTube channel. Pretty much takes place the most in Discord. So if you want to come hang out, chat with some music lovers, that will be there as well. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.